YouTube, welcome back to another video. Man, today is a bittersweet day. I'm finally forced to have to trade in my old trusty iPad Pro 11-inch, if I can get it out of this case, from 2018. If you guys have been rocking with me, which hopefully you have for all of these years, you know I got this thing almost 5 years ago, and it has been my workhorse for everything, whether it's for work, whether it's for play. I've used this device every single day for almost 5 years straight, and it has been a fantastic experience. Apple made this product to last, and that it absolutely did. It has held up very well, as you guys can see. I barely have any scratches or anything on this device. I always kept it in the case, always tried to take care of all of my belongings. But like I said, I use it every single day for various things. I took a lot of notes for work. I use this thing to watch Hulu, First Take every day, a lot of YouTube, a lot of LumaFusion, a lot of DH5, just, you know, a lot of trips. This thing has been on so many trips and cruises, and I watched tons of movies on airplanes using the trade down tables, and it has just been a fantastic experience. But recently, I downloaded and updated to iOS 17, and that was probably the biggest mistake that I've made. But to be clear, over the years, and at least earlier this year in 2023, I did notice that my battery life didn't last as long as it normally had, but that is to come with any device, especially after several years. However, when I updated to iOS or iPad OS 17, I quickly realized how that new operating system just finished my battery off. Like, it literally cut my screen on time in half, basically. So I took a trip to the Apple Store to see if there's anything that could be done. They ran a diagnostic. My battery degradation had dropped to like 81. They did give me a couple options. They did tell me initially that once the battery drops below 80%, they could do a battery rate replacement, which would run me around 119 bucks or so. But for a trade-in value, they're gonna give me 240 bucks. I was going to try to hold out to see about the degradation because you guys, well, if you don't know, Apple did not announce any new iPads this year. It seems as if they got pushed to early 2024. So I'm not really sure what they're going to do as far as the upgraded iPads for next year. I'm thinking they're going to go OLED, which was it was on my wish list for an OLED iPad, 11-inch. Or if they did like a mini Pro, like an iPad mini Pro that had, you know, 4 speakers, the 120 hertz refresh rate, you know, at least like an M something for the processor. But I think what I'm going to end up doing, and you guys can attack me in the comments, I'm probably just going to upgrade this to the M2 iPad, which the benefits of the M2, it won't really benefit me because, like I said, I do very light video editing through LumaFusion, so I don't really need M2 power to do that. I know a lot of creative professionals use, you know, the more demanding video editing applications. But I feel like I'm forced to do it because if I roll the dice and take the chance and not trade this thing in now, it could get to the point where it's not worth anything, right? So by the time they update the iPads for next year and I go to trade this in, instead of it being worth 240, it might be like 140 or something like that, something crazy. So I figured why not go ahead and just do the update. And if they do release something so ridiculous that I have to have it, then maybe I could sell the M2 iPad once I get it. But this also brings up the question of the ecosystem. And it's been very hard for me to basically infiltrate the Apple ecosystem. You guys know that my primary device is an iPhone. I always have Android as my secondary device. But one of the reasons why iPhone has always been primary is because of these other products, because of the iPad, because of the Apple Watch. But now that this thing is starting to fail for the battery life, I did think for a quick moment that I could replace it maybe with a different tablet, which would kind of pull me out of the ecosystem. But then I quickly realized that I film and do most things with the iPhone, and that it just, the sharing the files between an iPhone and this iPad are just, it's just so easy. And it's hard to really replace that. So just, you know, dropping the file in here, putting everything in LumaFusion, it has just worked out very well. And I guess I'm going to continue down that road. But you guys chime in. Let me know what you think. What would you do in my situation? Would you try to hold on to this thing, see if I can get it replaced for that battery rate at some point? The guy was kind of estimating maybe like a few months it would take it to get past that or below that 80%. Or would you go ahead and take the plunge and trade it in and on either iPad Air 5th gen, I think they're on now, or just go ahead and get that M2. So I want to know your thoughts. Hit me up in the comments. I'm pretty sad to let this thing go, though. You guys know I love this thing. I haven't found any tablet that could really compete with this pound for pound, right? There are other tablets that have great features. Like, I also love the Tab S devices, but just having that powerful chip in these iPads, having that overhead, future-proofing your device, right? Like I said, this thing lasted 5 years. The refresh rate, the way apps respond, it's just hard to beat that in a package. So let me know what you think.